Hey, but the summer of Tire Rack Sweepstakes. What is that? You've not been listening? Bad job by you. The summer of Tire Rack Sweepstakes rolls on. Amazing. We had our first winner announced on Sunday. One winner has already been selected to win a set of 4 brand spanking new tires. How cool is that? Yeah. Everyone needs tires, right? This is wonderful. And what better place to get tires from than tirerack.com? Now, 2 more winners. 2 have an opportunity to win a set of 4 tires, and that includes installation, right? You get that. You get the taxes and fees all covered, valued at up to $1,500. Hello. Give me some of that, right? I'm not eligible, but you are. And it's very simple to sign up. Enter daily. You can do it right now. You don't have to wait. Do it right now. Enter daily, which gets you a new entry into the contest every single day. Your new favorite website, foxsportsradio.com. That's the site. You go to foxsportsradio.com. Boom, you fill out your information right there and boost your opportunity, your chance to win. And 2 more winners, again, 2 more will take home a set of 4 brand spanking new tires from our friends at tirerack.com between now and August 27th. So you still have time, but don't waste it. To enter and get the rules and regulations, visit foxsportsradio.com. And it's sponsored by tirerack.com, the way tire buying should be. Get those tires.
The long national nightmare has ended. Ezekiel Elliott has found gainful employment, and Dalvin Cook will be taking his utensils to a new kitchen. And so that coming down back to back and belly to belly. If you were not paying attention because you actually have a job and you don't obsess about all this crap, let me fill you in. So if you missed it, the first chess piece to move across the board was Ezekiel Elliott, fired by the Dallas Cowboys months ago, and he has landed in a very patriotic location as he gets a 1-year contract worth up to $6 million. Up to the greatest weasel term humans ever came up with. It is, right? We use it in sports. We use it to go shopping online. Up to 50% off. You're lucky if you get 5% off. But up to $6 million. Now, shortly after, Zeke agreed to travel to the Commonwealth and hang out there playing for the Patriots out there in the boondocks in Foxborough, Dalvin Cook said, hey, what about me? I would like to play in that division as well. He had flirted with the Dolphins and the Jets and the Patriots to some degree, but it turns out Dalvin Cook will be a traveling chef. His new assignment is on a jumbo jet as he is joining the highly hyped up New York Jets. That never goes wrong, right? The Jets, they never screw this up. I'm sure this will be wonderful, and we'll be celebrating the genius of the Jets. How amazing all this is. But his deal is worth up to $8.6 million, supposedly with Gang Green. I'd like that up to part. That would be very nice.
Pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah, they definitely pump these things up. So let us discuss the question on these 2 big roster moves in the NFL, at least name value-wise, big names. We've heard of these people, so that's kind of cool when you've heard of somebody. It's more fun than a person you've never heard of, and who wants to talk about them? Anyway, so put a letter grade on Zeke Elliott's deal with the Patriots and Dalvin Cook going to the Jets. We open up the Maller report card, a scientifical analysis of all transactions in the NFL, and the Maller report card on this, I'm giving the Patriots a C- for Zeke coming to Foxborough, and the Jets get a B+ on the Maller report card. So those are the grades we have. I'll explain how I got to those grades here right now. I've got Budweiser, Double Bubble, and Blinkers. And we will combine all of these random things together, and we will make a 30-yard touchdown run, something that Zeke Elliott has not done in a long time. Anyway, yeah. Oh, you can feel the excitement. We are just weeks away from the start of real NFL football, not this fake rip-off crap that's available now. No. I am annoyed when I hear from people saying, well, you're not a real football guy because you don't pay attention to the exhibition games. And I say, bull crap. I've got a few emails like that. Why are you not breaking down what happened in the exhibition games? And because I'm not a newbie. That would be why. But as far as these two moves, we'll start with Ezekiel Elliott going to the New England Patriots, and that'll be where we begin. It is a weird fit. That was my initial take. It's a weird fit. Elliott immediately, this is how embarrassing the Patriots roster is. You talk about being devoid of name brand players. Zeke Elliott, who was last good roughly 3 or 4 years ago, becomes the top of the marquee name for the Patriots. Think about that. Bill Belichick's team has a bunch of nobodies. But that's the case. They're devoid of name brand talent. And so who else? You got Juju Smith-Schuster, a TikTok star. Is he the biggest name? Now it's Zeke Elliott, who's still going to ride that afterglow. He's got a high Q rating from his time with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, unfortunately, the way the report card breaks down, based on performance, I gave Zeke a D. I gave him the D. That's the way I scored it on the Mallet report card based on actual performance. But there's other variables. Right? It's a little D, too, by the way, not a big D, little D. And I'm being very generous, and I'll tell you why. Because this guy has not been able to get her done in a good amount of time. And you watch Zeke, at this point, he should become a brand ambassador for Budweiser. He should. He should become a pitchman for Budweiser because early on, when he first got to the NFL, this guy ran like a thoroughbred. And, oh, man, greatest running back in football for 2 years. And then after that, the slow decline. And now he has become one of those Budweiser Clydesdales. That's his running style. He's a plodding back, and that's what he brings. There's a little gusto. He runs like an old-school fullback, if you're old enough to remember when everyone had fullbacks. Is he all of a sudden going to change? Probably not. Now, what is my evidence? Let's go to the numbers, the eyeball test and the actual numbers. An amazing factoid. Zeke Elliott has not scored a touchdown outside the red zone, if you're unfamiliar. That's within the 20-yard line. Zeke has not scored a touchdown outside the red zone since 2019. Now, that seems like it was not that long ago, but we're getting to the 4-year mark since he last scored a touchdown, and he's a high-volume player. And he has been a high-volume player. And so as for the Jets, you take a look at the Jets suck. And I gave the Jets an A for Dalvin Cook's resume, on-field resume. And then I went B+ for his performance. And so the overall grade is a B+ because it's a low A. It's not a high A. So B+ on the Mallet report card, which is the only report card that matters.
Jete Jets.
Yeah, it's not quite right. But anyway, only one emoji for crossing the Rubicon. It's a big emoji. It's a red flag emoji for Dalvin Cook. And I think this guy will be pretty good. The Vikings, though, did get the heebie-jeebies. They got the heebie-jeebies after Cook went past the 1,500 career threshold for carries and touches and all that. And he's barely over that point of demarcation. But it doesn't matter, right? The NFL snobs believe, the nerds, that once you get past that point, you fall into a demon hole once you cross 1,500 touches. And so that's going to happen for Dalvin Cook, and it's going to be a hot mess and all this. Plus, the other thing that does give you concern is Dalvin did not seem like he really wanted to play for the Jets. Now, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of these guys in the NFL that don't even like football. They just happen to be good at it, and they make a lot of money. So I'm not going to get all worked up into that. But if he had his druthers, he would have gone, Dalvin, to the Miami Dolphins. But he got a little more money out of the Jets, and so he'll play in Miami. He's guaranteed to play there at least once a year. But the level of interest, not that great. Now, the second part of this, what does this Zeke signing do to the New England incumbent running back, Ramondre Stevenson, who was a high-volume player last season? So it is a demerit. Is it a big demerit? No, it's not a huge demerit, but it is a demerit because Bill Belichick, actions, as we learned when we were kids, actions speak louder than words, and the actions of the Patriots is that of, hey, we don't think that Ramondre Stevenson can be the bell cow back this season, so we're going to have to split it up. And you brought in a reclamation project in Zeke. And Belichick loves these kind of guys. Most of the time they don't work out, but Belichick has been a big supporter of that type of player with a big resume, fallen on hard times, and his former genius, will polish up Zeke Elliott, and watch out. Oh, it's going to be so good. Oh, my God. But the Patriots did work Ramondre Stevenson a ton last year, and the running backs, I don't know if the term is impulse purchase at the checkout stand, but it does feel like this is, you're planning on buying something else, and you're like, you know what, that double bubble gum looks really good, and I'm going to get some of that, and I'll put that in my basket, and then I'll put that on the conveyor belt, and I'll just chew away. We've all done that, right? There's certain products that, there's a guy when I worked in radio, did some stuff in Boston, there was a guy that worked there that was a lollipop salesman, and he told me, he also moonlighted in radio, by the way, but he told me, the guy was a good guy, he said, most of the sales of lollipops happen at the cash register. That, people aren't planning to buy lollipops, but you're at Walmart or Target or Sam's Club, or not so much Costco. I don't think they have the lollipops at Costco, but you're there and you're like, okay, I'll go and get that. And I want that. So grab a pack and chew it up, blow a bubble, spit it out. And Stevenson, though, is much more the prototypical traditional Belichick back. He's a JUCO guy back in the day before he went to Oklahoma. So he was a JUCO guy, 4th-round pick, scratch and claw type. And, Zeke is the antithesis of that because he's an Ohio State Buckeye. And this guy was a blue chip going to college. He was a top 5 pick, which will likely never happen again anytime soon in the NFL in 2016. And spoiled in Jerry's world. Now, the last part of, speaking of Jerry's world, we moved the running back room. And let's take a trip now to the fat guys. Tubby. Yeah, that would be the offensive line. So if you paid attention to this kind of stuff, we talked about it a few times. I don't think we did a full Maller monologue. Jerry Jones tossed a lot of heat out about the all-pro guard Zach Martin. Jerry had a lot to say about Zach Martin and his situation, and we're going to move on. Let's just pretend like he broke his leg. I'm paraphrasing, and we don't need this guy anymore. But surprise, surprise, surprise. What did the Cowboys do? They said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to rework, Jerry Jones said, I'm going to rework that contract, and I'm going to bring this guy in. He's the captain of the effing Cowboys. We're going to bring him in. So the deal will pay Zach Martin $18 million in each of the next 2 seasons. So how do the scorecards read on this, the Zach Martin holdout ending, an agreement with the Cowboys? So it is, if you look at the scorecard on this, Jerry Jones turned on his blinkers. He flinched is what he did. He absolutely flinched. And if you look at the Maller math, it's not a total universal win for Zach Martin. I'll tell you why. Because Zach has missed all of training camp through Monday. So if you do the math on this now, he does get more money. But if you look at the arithmetic, and we use Maller math, which is really close to good math. We call it Maller math. And Jerry flinched. But if you look at the Maller math and the way it breaks down, Martin is going to get $27.5 million, if my math is correct here, the next couple of years total. And he was looking at $27.5 million over the next couple of years, but now he's going to get $36 million. And he was fined $50,000 a day for 21 days. That works out to over $1 million. And spoiler alert, the Cowboys can't rescind those fines. So Zach Martin, even though he's getting more money, he's going to end up paying a nice donation to Jerry Jones. So all that bluster from Jerry, and we're going to move on. It was just, he's lying. He was trying to be the tough guy, and it didn't turn out to be the tough guy. So instead of an extra $8.5 roughly million, Zach Martin is going to get $7.5. I think he'll be okay. I don't know that we need to do a wellness check. I don't think he'll be eating oodles and noodles with Marcel in Brooklyn, but who knows?